what are you going to make for dinner? Leftovers. Leftovers get a bad rap, but what if we told you there is a way to turn those long-forgotten dishes into culinary masterpieces? Award-winning author Tamar Adler is the creative mind behind the Everlasting Meal Cookbook, Recipes for Leftovers A to Z, and she takes on the challenge of giving meals a second life and tackles the serious issue of food waste. It is a pleasure to meet the cookbook author, the aspiring tennis player on the circuit, Tamar.
So true.
Adler. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You have this cookbook, and I love the idea that it's not just recipes, but it's a way to really, as we said, give food a second life. So talk to us about the thinking in that.
This is how I cook at home.
Yeah.
I use all of everything. And I have found real pleasure and real delight and economy in keeping whatever is left and like reimagining it and re-envisioning it into something new. And luckily, it's how the great cooks of the world cook anyway. So it's not like I had to like make this all up out of nowhere. It's following culinary traditions that have existed forever.
Since the time before time.
Yeah.
I know another thing that's really important to you, and it's important to me, is food waste. There are so many humans roaming the planet, especially here in New York City, they live in food deserts. Food insecurity is a real issue. This kind of tackles that. And talk to me about how you and the book tackle that.
Well, I think seeing what you have left as an ingredient, as opposed to what's left from the meal before, but seeing it as a beginning of another meal actually expands what you have at home so enormously. And you end up, you don't even have to think of it as like I'm trying to lower my impact or have less food waste. If you think of it as just using what you have,
the starting point.
It is the starting point for another meal. Then remarkably, you have to buy less, you throw out less, and you have more meals.
That's right. I've now started getting into the habit of, instead of putting stuff into my compost, I'm now, oh, you know what? I'm going to take that fruit rind, I'm putting it in my smoothie. I'm gonna shave it, which is like, and that's my one tiny little thing that I try to do, but it does make an enormous impact, I hope.
It does, and it also it changes your mindset so that you're seeing things not as garbage, but as useful ingredients. And if we all were able to make those shifts, I think we would start seeing ingredients all around us.
Okay, now I'm a woman that knows. These recipes don't happen without some testing. What was that process like for you?
It was trying, and I owe such a great debt to people who tested recipes for me, because the things that were successful are in the book, and they're super delicious, but there were some real failures, and people had to eat my own failures. And like, for example, I tried to make an entire shortbread out of bacon fat. And it was so bad.
I'm glad I wasn't your tester.
Yes, exactly. So because I wanted to use all of everything. And so
that was very intrepid.
I went there so you don't have to.
Thank you so much for your pain and suffering. I also read somewhere that you can repurpose yogurt and donuts.
Oh, of course.
How on earth do you see that culinary algorithm tasting good and working together? This I can't wait to hear.
I mean, so I actually went about the book A to Z. So I would, for like 2 or 3 weeks, I would make something with every A ingredient I could think of.
Acorn squash, apple.
Anchovy oil.
Oh gosh, right.
Now I have no other A's.
That's okay.
But, abalone shells were in there at one point, but everybody knows that they're beautiful. So that's going to take them out. But
donuts and yogurts are on the opposite ends of the alphabet.
I think I did those separately. It was, donuts are actually really, really amazing in bread pudding. And also amazing in like a fried breakfast sandwich. So if you take a leftover donut and you heat a pan, and then you heat the donut and you make an egg sandwich inside, and then you press it, it's like the egg sandwich of your dreams.
Okay, let's do some of that stuff right now. What are we gonna, this is all repurposed. So we did a very scientific study in our team, and we asked our teammates, all 6 of us, what do you have in your refrigerator? There was a lot of leftover fruit. There was pita bread, or pitas that inevitably go bad. So that's kind of what we're working with.
So we're starting with pita, and I think you and I will make this together.
I love that.
This is fattoush, and you can try one of these if you want. These are just very stale pita that I fried, and you fry them, and then they become like tortilla chips. Those are tossed with salt and sumac. So will you go ahead and dump? This is just chopped cucumber.
It would be my
into
great honor.
this bowl, and then also chopped tomato.
Fantastic, and I have a straggler in here.
Oh, okay. And then this is scallions and chopped parsley and mint, but it could really be any combination.
Okay, this
of
is
herbs.
always in my refrigerator,
Yes.
like looking at me like, lady, what are you waiting for?
And this is 2 scallions. So like this is the last, this can be the
Right.
last 2
Right.
leftover scallions. Then I made a dressing. There's a recipe for this in the book. I made it in advance, but
Okay.
you could just drizzle it on. This is super simple. Do you want to do the
smell.
drizzle?
Oh, that smells nice.
Yeah, it's lemon juice, garlic, and in the
whole thing?
spirit, I think so, yeah. In the spirit of the book, I actually didn't have one of the ingredients that was supposed to be in it. It's supposed to be pomegranate molasses, which is traditional in
Sure.
fattoush, but I had a date molasses.
You
so
know what?
That's in here.
So be it.
Right?
Use what is available.
You use what's there, and then we can do a little bit more salt,
Okay.
and a little bit of sumac.
I love sumac.
Oh, you do?
For folks who don't know sumac, what is it?
It is a delicious lemony Middle Eastern spice, and it gives so much flavor.
It
with
wakens
just,
things up.
Exactly.
My kale that is on its last leg, like the obit is ready. I put a little sumac in the oven.
No more obit.
Delicious, no more
That
obit.
sounds great.
Look, I've given her an A to Z.
Yes, I'm gonna go
Here's the
home and that's gonna be
fattoush.
yes. So we put in, this is just leftover pita. A little bit of it's on the studio floor.
It's okay, the studio floor is hungry.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just mix that in, and it's fine if it gets broken up. I can do
Okay.
some mixing too if you are feeling.
You know what? In the interest of time, I'm looking at all of this. What is happening
okay,
here,
okay.
please?
Let's move over there. This is leftover fruit.
Yes.
So this is when your strawberries start to get kind of
They
soggy
get a little
and mushy.
funky, and
Yes.
my kids are looking at me like, you want me to do what?
Right.
I throw it in their smoothies when their backs are turned.
Yes, fantastic. Another thing you can do if you have a lot of them is make jam. So I have some jam that I made here that I was hoping
Okay.
you would want to taste. And this is the finished.
If you're making, I'm
fattoush.
tasting.
Yeah.
Except what would you make the?
No bacon shortbread for you. Here's this for fattoush.
Huh?
Which that plate? Yeah, great.
Yeah. And what's this jam?
And this is jam that's made of strawberries that look just like this. You pair out the little, you pair out these little brown bits.
Okay.
Chop it up, and I brought pectin because it's just
That's the
pectin,
thing.
sugar, and fruit,
And heat.
and then that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna taste this real quick.
Okay, good.
This is all. Those are summer. The Everlasting Meal Cookbook is leftovers, recipe leftovers, A to Z, available to purchase online and in person wherever books are sold. Tamar, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
Let's make stuff and play tennis at the same time.
Yeah.